Welcome back. We're going to follow a little bit different form today. This is the 50th anniversary of the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. So grab your favorite cuppa, lean in, and let's talk about it. Hi there, and welcome to This Day in History for November 10th. November 10th is the 314th day of the year in the Gregorian calendar, 315th in leap years, with 51 days remaining to the end of the year. Today's word is dirge. While dirge may occasionally be used as a verb, we usually see it as a noun. I think we usually recognize dirge as a song, a hymn, or a tune expressing grief or a solemn sense of loss, especially to accompany funeral or memorial rites. A dirge may also be any slow, solemn, and mournful piece of music or a piece of writing resembling a dirge in being expressive of deep and solemn grief or sense of loss, especially a poem of this kind. A dirge may also be any literary expression that is sorrowful, gloomy, or mournful. Dirge may refer to a psalm sung for a departed soul in the Roman Catholic Church or a requiem mass. Some examples could include, "She wrote a quiet dirge for the fading days of summer," or "The documentary plays like a dirge for a disappearing way of life." As a verb, dirge means to sing a dirge for or to sing as if a dirge. The word dirge comes to us from Middle English, Latin before that. First known use of the word dirge is in the 1200s. Dirge. And with that, the Great Lakes of North America are a series of huge interconnected lakes in the interior of North America, consisting of Lake Superior, Lake Michigan, Lake Huron, Lake Erie, and Lake Ontario. Passage between them has been optimized for travel and shipping by water. Being such huge bodies of water, they're given to ocean-like behavior such as rolling waves, sustained winds, strong currents, great depths, and distant horizons. One could certainly correctly consider these Great Lakes inland seas, great inland freshwater seas. Because they are so large and ocean-like, they can be way more dangerous than, say, for example, lovely Lake Lillian, Lake Otsego, or Lake Texoma. Sudden storms and reefs are a real possibility on the Great Lakes. They're prone to sudden and severe storms, particularly at this time of year. There's an area in Lake Superior that's known as the graveyard of the Great Lakes because so many boats have gone down there over the years, all the way back to the 1600s. The largest and last major freighter that was lost in the Great Lakes was the SS Edmund Fitzgerald. Launched in the summer of 1958, the Edmund Fitzgerald, nicknamed Fitz or Mighty Fitz, was the largest ship on North America's Great Lakes. It went down in one of those sudden and severe storms that I mentioned earlier. Newsweek magazine wrote about the loss of the Edmund Fitzgerald in an article called "The Cruelest Month" in its November 24th issue, 1975. Canadian singer-songwriter Gordon Lightfoot read that article and was so moved as to write a song about it, the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. The song was written and recorded before the ship's wreckage could be examined and contained some artistic conjectures, omissions, and paraphrases. Gordon Lightfoot has described how he agonized over potential inaccuracies while writing the lyrics, until his lead guitarist, Terry Clements, persuaded him to do what Clements' favorite author Mark Twain would have advised, and that was to tell a story. As investigation of the wreck uncovered more information, Lightfoot declined to change the original copyrighted lyrics, but he did change a few lyrics for live performances. As to the music, he said it was from an old Irish folk song, an old Irish dirge. The wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald was released in August of 1976, reached the number 2 spot on the Billboard Hot 100. As tragic as it is that the entire crew was lost in that wreck, That horrific and painful loss did lead to some changes in regulations and practices for Great Lakes shipping, including survival suits, depth finders, positioning systems, and more frequent vessel inspections. The song, as released in 1976, mentions the bell ringing 29 times for the lives lost in that terrible wreck. Following Gordon Lightfoot's death in 2023, the sailors are now remembered with 31 rings of the memorial bells in the Great Lakes Maritime Academy, and that is 29 for the lives lost that day in 1975 on Lake Superior, once for all the lives lost at sea, and once for singer Gordon Lightfoot, who wrote the ballad of the ship's sinking. The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald by Gordon Lightfoot. Link in the description. As I wrote the material that I would read to you in today's episode, there were parts of it that I couldn't read without being moved to tears, so I've chosen to remain off camera for this one. For today's quote, I found one by Japanese writer Ryonosuke Satoru, and it is, "Individually, we are one drop. Together, we are an ocean." Ryonosuke Satoru. Alrighty, y'all, take care. Be good to each other. I'll see you next time. And a hearty and grateful shout out to these lovely folks who've bought me a coffee. Thank you so much. And if you'd like to add your name to that list, there is a link in the description where you too can buy me a coffee. Alrighty. And I think that's going to do it for us today. Thank you so much for watching. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. Feel free to share this video with a link in your email, messaging, or social media. If you enjoy this series, you can check out the playlists in the description. You can find me on BitChute, Facebook, Odyssey, Rumble, YouTube, and X, as well as on a blog page called No Really. No Really. No, really. Consider following my Day in History page on Facebook if you're on Facebook. I also have a Patreon account now, or you can buy me a coffee. All those links are in the description. Alrighty, that's all I can think of right now. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.